Redlining with a very different type of podcast today. We are backstage of the studio. How's it going, Rich?
It's going very well. I'm excited by today.
I'm excited about today too, because we've got some very special guests from the other side of the world. Welcome to Infected Mushroom. Welcome, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah,
What's
nice
up?
to see you guys.
Okay, first question from me. How'd you get the name? Infected Mushroom?
Infected Mushroom was a band name of another band when we were in school. So imagine like a school band.
Yeah.
And then in the country we come from, we go to the army when you're 18.
Yeah.
And then basically all these bands disassemble.
Yeah.
And when me and Aris met and started doing music, it was under my name, Duvdev, and he was in a band called Shidapu, so that was a horrible name, Duvdev and Shidapu. So we just said, you know what, we need a name, and Infected Mushroom, we took the name and we made it what it is today.
What style of music was it?
I think in the original band played like
punk.
It's not even punk, it's like new wave punk. So yeah, that was the style. Yeah.
And they didn't mind you taking their name? I guess they're disbanded, did they?
Well, they disbanded later on when we became very big.
So you guys are classically trained musicians, right? This is what I read today.
Correct. Both of us played piano when we were kids.
Yeah.
And then both of us moved from classical music to rock.
Wow,
punk,
okay.
and then electronic music.
Yeah. So was that part of your influence to sort of introduce the orchestra to your performances?
Well, for us it was just another challenge, something to do that's going to be more interesting for the crowd.
Yeah.
Every time we do like some big show somewhere, we're trying to do something better and better. And this was one of them, to have like 50 people on stage. And on stages too, it was really cool. And,
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube. The Revolution Orchestra.
Orchestra.
That must have been something else.
It was crazy. It was also surround, so it's very challenging.
Yeah. So how long did you prepare for that?
Each big show we do, like the big ones, we prepare like 4 or 5 months to a show like that, So usually it's in our home country, but sometimes also Europe or the States. So it's a big production. Like we have a big festival coming up now in the Czech Republic, Karlovy. This is with the Mejumana band, which are the big band. Yeah, so that's one we're preparing. So each show like that, we get prepared for a long time in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of logistics to think about.
Yeah, it's a big part of music creation these days, really, isn't it? I mean, you can't just expect to make money off Spotify. You've got to get out there and do the work, don't you? And you can experiment and try things out and be more entertaining.
I think it was always a part of the business. Of course, our days even more. For us, this is the fun part of a musician that does a track in the studio and then get to test it all around the world. Yeah. That's the best testing ground when you do dance music, because you technically want to make people dance. Yeah. And how would you know how they dance around the world by just not going there? So it's a great opportunity to check what we're doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's the dynamic between you two when you come to productions? Do you kind of like share responsibilities, or is one sort of...
Who writes the music, who makes the coffee is what we're asking.
Well, we both do everything. We learn to do everything with time. We spend so many years together in the same room. So we both know to do everything these days. And it's about just bringing an idea. It can be just with a shitty iPhone mic or whatever that he sings a lot, and brings a great melody idea, and then we think which sound to do it and stuff, and produce it and everything. And sometimes it can be a bass line or I don't know what, a piano, whatever it is. But we have a really good balance between us when we come to just ideas and workflows, when we agree a lot on each other's ideas.
The main difference in the previous years of Infected Mushroom is that because we don't live close to each other, we have 2 different studios. Right. So the last few years we work more separately. So then the ideas jump back and forth between 2 studios, as opposed to back in the day, we would sit always in the same room. So it has the disadvantage and the advantages of our days, but that's the main difference on the production. So technically we do everything because we're in 2 different studios. So
Is that a legacy from the pandemic at all, or is this
started in the pandemic? Definitely. In the pandemic, we thought, in the first 2 weeks the world is over. So the first thing I've done is build a studio in my home. Which I've never had before. That's the first thing I've done. I said, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
So and he moved to a farther place next to the beach, and he goes like, okay, the world is over. I want to be at the beach. So
Nice. Yeah.
but nothing happened, and we just had 2 studios, and a lot of music has been done since then. Yeah.
We had a nice break. So
Yeah.
So when did you guys start out?
start in '96.
96. Really?
Yeah.
Yes. 1996, we met.
You guys are so youthful. I'm amazed.
Yeah, 1996 we started doing the music, and 98 came the first album, even though it was ready before.
Sure.
Nobody wanted to sign that in Israel back then. We were like this weird, what's going on?
Too much melodies.
Not the system of any music back then. So it took a while, but 98 came the first Infected Mushroom album, and then.
Did you start off to make PsyTrance back in? When you
Oh,
started?
definitely. When
Yeah.
me and him met was to do PsyTrance, but we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We were both classical trained musicians,
Yeah.
but we didn't know the studio work so well. So we were a very unique band because we started working with a computer. And then back then in Israel, the old school guys called us, "You're not musicians." Even though we were musicians, but we just didn't have any money or stuff to buy equipment and stuff. So we started doing music on a computer. Our days, this is the
like without gear,
Yep.
just a computer, not even monitors,
nothing.
Wow,
We had
okay.
nothing, and
And
then
you're running the software on DOS back
DOS
then.
back in the day,
right,
it was
okay,
like
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And then slowly buying our first equipment, our first keyboard, our first monitor, as you call it, sampler and stuff like that. We didn't have that to begin with, so it was kind of a weird beginning for me and him.
Yep.
But that's what brought our unique sound back then.
Yeah. So that analog approach has definitely allowed you guys to be slightly more creative in a different sort of aspect.
Oh,
especially
definitely.
understanding of
Definitely.
classical
When we the first money we've made from shows back in the day, we like the first show in Japan was like 1998. All the money we just bought a bunch of analogs and smuggled them back to Israel.
We didn't really smuggle them.
Literally.
They caught us.
They caught us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a good smuggle. We tried.
It was a failed
Paid
test.
a lot of money on it. But hey,
But we got really cool gear. at
yeah,
the
very
time.
cool gear.
Yeah.
Our first Judo 106, all this kind of stuff we couldn't buy then.
Modular.
Yeah. So that was our beginning.
Yeah. Do you still use some of that gear?
Less and less. to be
Less and
honest.
less these days. We have the Moogs and stuff like that, but hey, we're in the plug-in business as well. So we do our own sounds. We use our own sounds, and lately, it's all computer love. So yeah.
So back in '96, who were your inspirations to kind of start doing PsyTrance?
Simon Posford, which was
Hallucinogen at the time, then Spango later on.
Yeah, and we liked X-Dream at the time.
Ethnica, Men
Yeah.
with No Name, Tip, all the UK kind of not only European trance is what we discovered when we were starting, and
we really tried to copy them.
We wanted to sound like them, but it didn't turn out like them. It turned out Infected Mushroom. So
That's great.
but this was our approach. We used to listen to a track by someone and we go like, how the fuck did he do this? And we tried to sound like that, but something completely different came out, and that's who we became.
Yeah.
Came the Infected Mushroom sound.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So when you're traveling around the world and doing all the gigs, because you've got a unique sound. So what sort of responses? What sort of different responses do you get from different countries around the world, like Europe or America or Japan or New Zealand? Do they react differently, and how do they react differently?
So depends on the era, because we're so many years in the business. When Infected Mushroom came out, we were straight up a huge success outside of our country.
Yeah.
Straight up, and we were like, we came for our first show in Mexico, and when the promoter came and picked us up, and he goes like, I'm expecting 5,000 people tonight, and we go like, we sold 5 albums in Mexico. I go like, are you insane? He goes like, no, I sold 5,000 tickets. We didn't believe that shit. Because what happened back in the day, everybody was illegal downloading with Kaza and all these websites and shit. So everybody knew Infected Mushroom.
Yep.
And we were like, what the fuck?
You weren't getting the residuals. You were getting nothing in return.
No, not in return. But when we came to shows, we were a straight big band all over the world. And we were like, what? We didn't know what's going on. And then especially when the second album came, Classica Mushroom, we became even bigger. and then started touring in the United States and all of that. So the responses were from the beginning really, really positive for Infected Mushroom, and our sound caught up really, really fast. Then over the years started the big debate between the fans. Oh, you know, this album is different. This is, now they go to that direction and stuff. But this is how I call a normal progressive of a band that are out there for so many years.
Yeah.
We wanted to explore so many kinds of music, and not always the fans go with you. But again, we do music first of all to please ourselves.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, that's what we do. And if we're happy about it, then if other people are happy about it, that's great. If not, just go listen to another band. There's many out there, you know.
Especially when you're doing live music, you're doing live performances, you want to be enjoying it, and the crowd will eventually, if not immediately, they'll start riffing off you. They can see the fun you're having. If a band's phoning it in or a DJ's phoning it in, no one gives a fuck, you know. But if they can see you guys actually enjoying it and because it's there's a lot of elements to it what you guys do. I can just imagine the crowd get right into it, and you have to enjoy it when you're doing it.
We're enjoying the process, you know. We're enjoying the craft of making everything from scratch. You know, and we're very proud, I think, also to be part of all this kind of scene. You know, it's a beautiful scene with great people, and very generally speaking, very safe scene. You know, people are not fighting in parties. People are very. So I don't know. It's a great place to be.
Would you also say that by crossing genres with PsyTrance, you've also pushed PsyTrance to more people?
100%. When you take the big bands of PsyTrance, what we call, so Infected Mushroom back in the day, today you have many more, Vinny Vici, all this kind of bands. They push PsyTrance to the masses, and that's what we've done for years. Some people will call it, oh, this is becoming commercial, which is fine. You have your own way of thinking. But we played PsyTrance in so many big festivals around the world that are so commercial, and we literally, people that were there, they were going like, what the fuck is that, you know? So we definitely pushed PsyTrance to the masses, and many bands today took it even further than us.
And especially in the US, like we moved to the US pretty early, and we really put a lot of effort to play a lot of shows for way less fees in the beginning, because in Europe we used to do very well. So we sacrificed it for many years in order to grow, you know, and it worked out for us pretty good. And I think we opened doors also to a lot of other artists to come to the US. At the time, it wasn't so nobody knew what it was.
When we came in 2004, there was no electronic scene in the United States. There was raves, and like 3 or 4 DJs, American. But then it blew up, you know, and some of them are still huge until today. So.
Have you got a favourite place to play or a favourite country to play?
At the moment,
apart from New Zealand, obviously.
There's a lot, but I gotta say, at the moment, we really enjoy playing the United States, and the reason is what happened in the last 10 years with electronic music in the United States is insane. It became so big. So many DJs are playing in the United States. So in an evening in the United States today, you can play whatever you like and the crowd will not be surprised. So if you hear an Infected Mushroom set in, let's say, I don't know, Boston, United States, we can play whatever we want. And
That's
people will go like, okay, I heard this, I heard it.
Yeah.
When we play in Europe or in other places, they expect exactly the Infected Mushroom Psy sound that they're like.
They can be even more specific. They can tell you just play this era, you know.
So they're very
so promoters
specific.
say that to you?
Oh, of course they book stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So how do you respond to that? Is that something you do want to do?
No. First of all, we do want to do, because like our latest album, Reborn, took our classics and just we did it again. But sometimes I tell the promoter, he goes like, he calls like, I want only a retro set. And I go like, what is retro for you? I asked the promoter, he goes like, I want only I Am the Supervisor album. I go like, this is our 5th album. So when you say retro, you should be more specific. And then even the promoter doesn't understand his own crowd, because the crowd, they go like, so what are you going to play? I go like, well, it's supposed to be retro. Retro for me is 25 years ago. So, but anyways, we kind of fine-tuned what we're playing around the world. We know what to expect. So
what have you got coming up album-wise? Have you got anything in the pipeline? Or are you just having a bit of a break from it? Or
No, never a break. Always new
going.
music.
Yeah.
We've done a few collaborations now with an artist called Blastoise from the PsyTrance stuff. So that's coming up. New Infected Mushroom EP, I think, in Monster Cat. Hopefully by the end of the year or next year.
Yeah.
So we're doing music all the time, producing, doing stuff. We did a partnership with HP, the
Printer company.
the printer,
Oh, really? Okay.
and we sampled their massive commercial printers,
Right.
and we did a track from those sounds. So we went to the So listen, we produce music all the time. So
Develop plugins.
develop
Yep.
plugins.
And,
Yeah, I saw that on the
and
website.
we're also gonna hopefully release a video game,
the
VR
first
video game
the first
this year.
Infected Mushroom VR game.
Yeah,
Really? Wow.
and it's very. I mean, you'll see.
Yeah.
Can you
elaborate?
elaborate on that? Yeah.
Soon we're gonna come up with more information,
Okay.
but it's a first release that it's a part of a huge game,
Yep.
and the first release is very surprising. You think it's one thing, and then you're gonna be surprised, hopefully.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a very psychedelic experience, and VR especially. Also, it's for desktop too, non-VR, but the VR is a crazy experience.
Yeah, we also put out medical weed in Israel as an infected mushroom strand.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Okay.
It's called RB,
RB it's called. And,
That's cool.
and it's the first, basically, as far as I know, let's call it like FDA approved.
medical because in America it's not really so we went the drug trials
the FDA of Israel.
like the it's the first one out there. So yeah,
What was the that's really interesting. What was the decision to sort of follow that route? Just something that came up?
I started using weed because of medical reasons. I never took drugs all my life. I never even drank or anything until the age of 33. And actually, so the doctor told me, listen, either you take pills or you try that.
Yeah.
And so I started smoking weed and trying weed, and it really helped me. And I did the research for like a few years on myself.
Yep.
And then I realized there's a huge difference between the kinds and whatever, so took it a little bit to the extreme.
Yep.
And we collaborated with the biggest weed company outside of the US. They're literally the biggest, they're also in the stock market.
Yeah.
And it's with the government. So
the main thing here is really medical. It's not like you know what I'm saying.
Recreational.
You're really getting that CBD out of it.
It's 24.4 THC.
It's really medical, and it was fascinating, just to see strand that really works medically and has our name on it. So it's pretty another unique. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit of the plugins as well. You're talking about plugins that you can use for Pro Tools and that sort of stuff.
Music creation, for any software. Even we have a free one for an iPad. And I mean, we are doing very well with the plugin side of things. I think we're really pushing the limits of the quality of the programming itself. Most software companies are copy-pasting existing
models,
and like stuff that are existing in books and stuff, and we're literally reinventing things from scratch in assembly, and we have the top programmers in the world.
Sure.
And I'm very proud of the team that we have. It's like crazy good, and also the reviews so far all like 5 out of 5 stars and stuff. So,
and again, the plugins came because the idea of us using it.
Yes.
So and we use all of them all the time, and then if the public enjoys it, that's a plus.
That's a great opportunity to use your brand to actually say, we use these. Bullshit.
But we really, you can hear that we use it. People go like when the plugin comes out, I go like, oh, there it is.
You can open any project of ours and you're going to see mostly our plugins. We're not trying to sell it to ourselves. We literally develop tools that we think are missing in the market. So we said like, we're missing this. I wish there was that. I wish, you know what I'm saying? So then we created these tools. And it's been very, very interesting journey.
Do you get producers who have used your plugins sending you music that they've done?
Of course, all the time.
All producers of today around our plugins are already really known. So most producers use them today, and we go like, hey, we did this with it. And you don't need to send us. We know.
You can hear,
Because again, it has that signature kind of sound. So,
it's a great honor to hear from huge film scoring companies that doing the biggest film stuff. They force their studios to install our plugins, so the project will open everywhere, for them. So it's kind of cool.
Actually, that's an interesting point. I mean, you both come from classical backgrounds, and you're both into PsyTrance. Have you thought about yourselves getting into like the film scores, that sort of stuff?
We've done some, but we I mean, this is not our main thing. Our main thing is
but a side hustle. You know what I'm saying?
It's a side hustle that we wanted to do.
But again, it's not really a side hustle. When you do a full score for a movie, you have to commit 1 year or at least 2 years of your life to it. And technically, even if we have the idea in the mind, we don't have time for that. Realistically, our biggest problem as a band today is time. We don't have time. So let's say somebody come and give us the idea, we get excited, and then I go like, realistically, we cannot do it. Let's be honest. Because we have to stop.
Forget about the financial side. That also, I mean, it's better to tour than to make a score.
Correct. So again, we can't do it. I cannot put aside 1 year and sit on a score and really put myself into it. So there's better people out there for that. That's what they do.
But if let's say they send us something and they tell us, okay, put your take on it, like make it more electronic, make it more,
this we can do.
If it's futuristic stuff, it's going to be fun for us to do.
It's like, when Hans Zimmer, he goes with Junkie XL to his kind of, so we can do a take on it, but to do a full score,
it's full
just
How do you guys balance the producing music with the touring? Do you kind of do a 50-50 split? Obviously, you probably work on your music while you're in flights. Or
we work on music all the time because we tour so much, and we are always outside. In fact, the Mushroom never stopped touring. So we work whenever we can on music. So
do you guys get any downtime?
Yeah.
What do you guys do? What do you guys do in your downtime? When you're not doing music or you're not gigging?
Well, we have 1,000 kids together.
It's like fucking bullshit.
And we enjoy spending time with our families. Literally, it's a good time. When you're away, you actually have time to miss them, and they miss you, and it's a good balance, I think.
No, that's good.
And when he says downtime, we don't have downtime. We have 2 days a week or 3 days a week that we're at home.
And then we become Uber drivers.
It's not downtime.
Uber kids.
Fuck that shit. So Uber fucking.
We are in the car.
LA. If people talk about LA or how when you live in LA, you are a driver. Because it's so big and you need to be there. You spend like 3-4 hours in the car. So people ask you, what do you do? Uber drivers.
When did you guys move to LA?
It was 2004, 20 years now.
Right, okay.
So
wow.
November to now it's going to be 20 years.
Wow. Obviously,
came for 1 year. We had a 1 year visa.
That's how it always happens.
That's how it started. Today there's a 3 years visa, but back in the day for artists there was 1 year visa, and then 20 years later, Americans all the way.
That's cool.
The US is a good place.
We found it very suitable to be a base for doing music and touring.
Do you guys get back to Israel much? I know you do shows back in Israel, but you've got family and stuff.
So all our families are there. We go for the shows. We do at least 4 or 5 shows a year. So we go all the time. Even though sometimes it's harder to go than the next, but the shows are always amazing. Like we've done a show 2 weeks ago in Israel in the desert, and this is not a good time to be in that region of the world. It's so problematic, but because people want to get loose, the energy of that show, I cannot even explain it, because they come to dance for different reasons than what the public here comes to dance for. They come to they want to let loose of the shit that is going around them, So the energy of the shows in Israel at the moment, wow.
Yeah.
And the weather conditions don't matter for them. Like it can rain on them or whatever.
Nobody
They
cares.
will just, they're so into it.
Into
It's
the
next level.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we just done a show 2 weeks ago in the desert. It was amazing, amazing show.
Yeah, we played 4 hours
Yeah.
live.
Wow. Oh, 4 hours live.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
okay.
crazy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that is. Yeah.
So what's next?
Yeah.
Where to from here?
So 7 shows sold out in Australia. Super happy to be back.
Yeah.
Some cities are upset that we are not coming, like Perth, Adelaide. We're sorry, we just can't do so many shows. There's a limit when we do the live band.
Yeah.
For my vocals,
Yeah.
I can do 4 shows
Yeah.
a week. If I do 5, I'm dead. There's nothing
Yeah.
is coming because I shout and then I'm not a professional singer, so
Just making up as you go along.
yeah. So we do 7 shows now in Australia, then back to the European tour,
Yeah.
and then which goes all July, August, which here is winter, but there is summer,
Yeah.
and then September we start the American tour again. So
Yeah.
all the way up to January,
Yeah.
and maybe 3 weeks off in January downtime.
Yep.
And then back
Uber
at,
driver.
and then Uber driver, and then back at it. So
Yeah, guys, you guys are committed to the cause. that's
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
always.
Just a little comment about being in New Zealand. How's it like being back here? I know
So listen, New Zealand always been good to us, but the main problem for me and Ares, we are always here for 24 hours, which is bullshit. This is one of the most beautiful places around the world, and each time they bring us over here, they go like, "You gotta stay 2 or 3 days. Come on, just check it out."
Yeah.
So hopefully, the next time we come,
Yeah.
we gotta
Cool.
because it's always too short.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yep.
We
It's all-
really appreciate your time.
it's
We
our
won't take up
pleasure.
any much time. We gotta let you guys relax and take in some of the other acts before you get out there yourselves.
It's our
But,
pleasure.
Yeah, man. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
to be
you.
here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
you.